Something that I love in Blue's Clues is how loving and kind Mr. Salt and Mrs. Pepper are, and they get along very well with each other. They're very close. I love in this toy they got their arms together because they love supporting each other, being there for each other. They love wrapping their arms around and showing very wholesome, supportive love to each other. But they're also there to look after the various residents of the Blues Clues household. And Mr. Salt and Mrs. Pepper, a salt shaker and a pepper shaker, they're actually able to get so much done looking after Blue, Steve, Joe, Josh, as well as all the talking objects, side table drawer, tickety talk, slippery soap, shovel and pail, as well as all the guests that come over frequently, like Magenta and Periwinkle. There's a lot to do, and yet Mr. and Salt and Mrs. Pepper, they're willing to work hard to help people, to help pups, to help the objects, because they care and they have that much responsibility and kindness in their hearts. And yes, Mr. Salt is a talking salt shaker, and yes, Mrs. Pepper is a talking pepper shaker. It could seem ridiculous even as a little kid. I thought it was amusing, and to a certain extent it could be considered that, but this salt shaker and this pepper shaker have so much kindness in their hearts and they're willing to look after and support as many people in need as they can. And that's wonderful, and that's great, and that's inspiring. I feel like people looking after each other, helping those in need, helping their relatives, because Mr. Salt and Miss Pepper look after their kids, but they also look after their non-biological family, including Blue and all the others, and that's such a wonderful thing, to look after and care for as many people and pups in our lives as we can. That's just such a beautiful thing. So it's great to have Mr. Salt and Mrs. Pepper in our lives because they're wonderful. They really are amazing.